Hey, Mike Calling here. Just want to check in to make sure everybody can hear the audio. We're going to wait a few seconds here, a few minutes before we go live. We got a lot of people coming in. Wow, 60, now 70 people coming in. So we just did a very, very similar webinar for the cleaning industry specifically. I know we've got a lot of lawn care, and it looks like a few of my cleaning friends are here as well. If you could just type in if you can hear the audio, and we'll be diving in here in another minute or so. Got a couple people late arriving. I know depending on the time zone, this is a bit of a tough time to get here, but I wanted to make sure that we can get in for most people to see it here. All right, perfect. Looks like we got some audio. Give me a minute or two here, and we will be hopping in. Wow, it is unbelievable if you can see the stats on this rolling in here. Phenomenal. All right. Well, I'm going to get into this right now. Obviously, if people are coming in a little bit late, they can check it out as they come in, but I want to be cognizant of your time and you guys getting here and on time. So this is going to be a very interactive half hour, 45 minutes. And at the end, I've got a special deal for you guys and girls here, webinar only. But really, this is going to be 35 to 40 minutes of just really executable content, and then a special offer for anybody who sticks along to the end. And at full transparency, I'm going to warn you at the end before I make the offer, because this is not necessarily a sales pitch. This is just a great amount of knowledge going into conversational marketing and that next technology shift where things are going in the service industry, especially around sales, in my opinion. So without any further delay, we are going to hop into this here. So want to welcome everybody to the webinar. Like I said, we're going to be talking about conversational marketing and all the things that are happening right now as technology is just going like crazy. Chris says there is a lot of feedback. Chris, I will throw on a pair of headsets here in 2 seconds. Okay, is that a little bit better as far as the audio? If anybody can let me know before we get going, so there's not some feedback. Okay, perfect. Maria, is this going to be recorded? Yes, this will be recorded, but only the special offer will be available if you're here at the end. So you definitely want to stick in for the whole end. And there's going to be some goodies at the end that are only on the live event. So here we go, and I appreciate everybody joining me. So please turn up your speakers and get ready to go here as we go into this webinar.
What I'm about to just share my story as a small business owner of 25 years in the business. And when we first start out, no one ever really tells us how to go out and get work. We see tons of people servicing lawns or cleaning homes in our area. But the problem is, how do we actually go out and get to work? So in my situation, the stunning realization is I had no choice if I wanted to succeed in business through high school, college, and afterwards, that I really needed to hit the street and start knocking on doors. And this was a sun up to sundown situation with absolute frustration. Some days we won, some days we lost, but at the end of the day, it revolved around me. And if that wasn't enough, I'd have to actually go out and do all the work myself thereafter. So when I wasn't out mowing grass, cutting lawns, weed whacking, I was hitting the street once again, to fill those routes and get more customers. So walking up to strangers' homes, knocking on doors, giving estimates, and honestly, learning the whole entire business process as it went on, learning from some things we got lucky to get enough right, and some things through failure. So as we continue to go in and build and scale this business to $1 million and well beyond, I realized that there really needed to be a better way. But before I could actually discover the better way, I had to get up in the morning before the sun and get all the trucks out in the field, get the trucks loaded, actually go out and find and recruit and train employees. And in the early years, I had no idea how to do that. So it was continued frustration. And in addition to that, growing a sales base to be able to afford these people and keep them busy and put food on the table for their families and mine was a huge stress. Then came additional seasons such as the winter in the upper northeast, and that was just an absolute grind. Sometimes 24, 36 hours straight, sitting in the truck at odd hours, calling employees and subcontractors and hoping they answer the phone. trying to actually to learn how to run a business in a successful way was enough of a burden. But to try to figure out how to keep a life-work balance, grow a business to $1 million, to be honest, we all want to do, and still have a life in your business and be successful was the biggest challenge. So after approximately 12 to 15 years in the business, I discovered automations. And one of the biggest turning points of automations was to create a predictable system that did not revolve around me and close sales day in and day out. And sometimes while I was still on the truck, just like here, plowing snow, the system worked for me day in and day out and created sales processes with predictable systems. So what I'm about to dive in and show you today is the solution that helped me take my life back from my business. Well, at least a part of it, automated estimating through Facebook Messenger bots. And as we're diving in it, this is just a little comical look of Bill Murray here for ABC Lawn Care. But as you're diving in, what happens here is your potential consumer can basically put in their address 24 hours, 7 days a week, whenever they're ready to buy. And the new way that consumers buy in conversational marketing is people want to buy when they're ready to buy, not when it's convenient for you and your business. So as they're entering their address in, they're dropping their zip code in. We are addressing the new shift in buying technology. And in our company, we figured out how to automate estimating for lawn mowing, lawn rolling, fertilization, weed control, dethatching, mulching, snow removal, and much, much more. And what this allowed us to do is, just as you can see on the screen here, create property-specific prices that drove information from Zillow square footage of either the gross lot square footage or the home square footage in the home cleaning industry. So this allows you to go in and close sales literally while you're in the field or sleeping, capture their phone number, capture their email, and make it a seamless sales process. And by doing this, this is just part of my journey of driving and pulling my life back from my business. And I think it's my moral obligation at this point to share this with the rest of the service industry. So I hope you're ready. I'm going to show you what happened on my journey through 25 years in the service industry and how we've gone in and now helped over 300 people plus companies do this in their own business. And at the end of the day, we all get into a business and start a business to have the money and the finances that we want and spend time with our family and do the things that mean most to us. And in the early days, thank God we didn't have kids, and this business did cause divorce. But after I got remarried, and it has recentered my focus. Now I can have time with my kids, my family, and enjoy what's really important in my life, but still have the ability to hit the success and hit my goals through automated Facebook Messenger bot estimating as part of our automated system. So now when my consumer picks up their phone, I don't have to be on the other end. I can be out at the movies or the park with my kids or relaxing by the pool while the automation does the work. So buckle up, here we go. And before we dive into this and show you how it's done, I'm going to just let loose the 3 secrets of how to automate your business and get your life back from your business in the same time.
So how cool is that? Just make sure you can hear me. I just plugged phones in case there was any feedback. Chris and a few other people had some feedback. So just make sure you can hear me and want to dive right into it. So attention lawn care business owners or service business owners. Make sure in the chat here, if you can hear me, I just want to make sure that everybody can hear the audio through the headphones without any feedback. And we're going to jump right in. So I'm just waiting to make sure. Somebody just type in the chat if you can hear me. No. Is that better then? Got the audio there? Perfect. All right. If there's some feedback, just let me know. All right. So we're diving in. So lawn care and service business owners, we are getting into it. So first thing is we're going to talk about the 3 simple secrets to kill the chaos while simultaneously exploding your sales on autopilot this upcoming season. So first of all, if you haven't seen any of the content or anything we've been doing on Facebook, you probably want to know who in the hell is this guy on this webinar and why should I even stick around to listen? So I want to give you a little background on myself, how I cut my teeth in the lawn care snow removal business. And we're going to dive into the 3 secrets to automate your business and how that's going to shift into this new technology shift where you can go out and literally mop the floor with your competition this year. But basically, a little background on myself. I scaled a fully automated lawn care and snow removal business to the top 7% of the sales level in the whole United States. Full-time columnist now since 2015 for Lawn and Landscape magazine and as well as Snow Magazine now. We've automated through my company, Simple Growth, well over 300 lawn care and fertilization and service companies with the same exact process that we built in my business without ever having the intentions of reselling it. We are certified advisors with Service Autopilot, certified partners with Infusionsoft, and agency partners with ManyChat, the plugin that ties in behind this Facebook Messenger. So if you're watching this and you don't use Service Autopilot, this is okay. If you're using Service Autopilot, we've got a couple things at the end that are additional benefits. But what I'm going to be showing you here today is platform independent, customer relationship management software independent. So this will apply no matter the software, whether you're using it Service Autopilot, Jobber, Single Ops, whatever you're using, Real Green. It doesn't matter. What I'm going to show you can apply to your business. So I want to make sure that you understand that this is applicable to any service business, especially the lawn care industry, if that's where you're at. So it all started with this little truck here in a dream back in high school. I couldn't find the exact picture, but this is the exact make and model of the truck. The only difference of the truck that I had was the same exact color, but it had a lot more holes in it due to the rust in the Northeast. But very, very humble beginnings, just like probably most people on the webinar. I'm going to throw these headphones in back again because it looks like we're having a little audio. So just give me the thumbs up that with the headphones and we will continue on. Perfect. All right. So hopefully that's good. If it's not, let me know. But basically very, very humble beginnings, starting out with basically a dream in a truck as most people do. So as we dove into it, I struggled to have a day-to-day work-life balance. So originally when I started this business in high school and all the way through college, at college I had 3 crews, and no one told us as business owners, especially myself, and thank you for the feedback there, Kelly and Ryan and Jennifer. But basically this business revolves around me as the single point of failure. So if I left the business for a day or two, the thing would literally self-imploded. And that all changed in 2012. Not to get in the nitty gritty of it, but I'll expose some of the weaknesses here and what actually happened in my business. I had built a business, obviously, that revolved around me as a single point of failure. I was, no joke, working 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, as you kind of saw in the video, working literally 100 hours a week. And that ended up causing a divorce. Girl I married from high school ended up coming home, no joke, on Valentine's Day and literally came home and said, "I'm leaving you because your business runs your life." So what happened then is I literally hit rock bottom and went out on the internet to find a solution. What I found was a bunch of individuals that were called lifestyle entrepreneurs. These gentlemen and lady were running their businesses from the beach, from a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection. I bought into the dream. There was no disillusions after buying it that I was going to be running the lawn care company from the beach remotely in Bali or Thailand. But I bought into that system. And lo and behold, the first year we automated that business doubled and the hours I worked were literally cut in half. So I will tell you, what I'm going to show you is the 3 secrets to automating your business that we did at Callahan's Lawn Care. No sales pitch here. I'm literally just going to lift the hood and show you how we did it. And if you're already working with Simple Growth for your automations, don't turn the screen off, because I'm going to show you what the next evolution and basically shift of conversational marketing is going to happen and how that all ties in. So hopefully you're ready. Fasten your seatbelts, and I've got a few questions before we dive into this. So I'm going to show you exactly what we did and why it worked, and then I'm going to actually show you how to do it in the next 20 or 30 minutes. So 2 questions before we dive into those 3 key areas. So question for you is, do you want to grow your business fast, or do you just want a fully automated business? So obviously we've got a lot of people here typing in with some comments. So what are you looking for? Just some comments, questions as I dive in this. Are you looking to grow fast, or are you looking to just automate a business that doesn't need you? Well, it's kind of a trick question. If yes, we are going to show you how to grow fast with an automated system, and we're going to basically show you what's required for this automated fast growth. So good news is we were able to do both at Callahan's, and now we've systematized it, and we're going to show you how to grow fast with an automated system that does not revolve around you as the business owner. So step number 1 is sales, specifically a standardized sales system that can be delegated without you as a single point of failure. So what is required to create the standardized sales system that can be delegated and still break that $1 million threshold and beyond and not actually suck you back in then day in and day after? So what we're going to do is we are going to tackle step number 1 of the automated sales system. So if you're a Simple Growth client, or you've seen some of the videos and seen this flow chart, don't jump off the screen because we've got some new content around this. And this is where it's going, in my opinion. So just like we automated my lawn care business with automation 6 or 7 years ago when it was on the bleeding edge, it's still the cutting edge right now in the service industry. In my opinion, conversational marketing is where it's next. And you can notice on the left-hand side of the screen here, we've got some buttons for your website, a QR code, a slide in, and Facebook Messenger through organic and paid communication. So what is really going on is consumer buying habits are changing. People are going on your website and wanting solutions when the hours are not open. And traditionally what we've all done and still do to this today, and it's not a bad system, but we need to improve upon it because these buying habits have changed. So if somebody goes onto your website and they don't necessarily want to talk to a person during office hours, they are driven to a form and they fill out their information and request an estimate. Mike, you are frozen. Okay, well, we're going to keep going here. We'll let me know if that's still frozen. But basically what we're doing here is we're driving somebody to our website and forcing them to buy when it's convenient for the company. And basically by forcing them to buy when it's comfortable for our business, we're basically pushing them off to our competitors. I mean, obviously all service businesses, at least mine, do not have that luxury of having a 24/7 estimator live on the phone. So obviously all service businesses, whether we're still in the field, out working, out doing estimates, or maybe we're an absentee owner, but our office staff doesn't work outside of 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, whatever those hours are, we need to have a way to tie in instant and automated pricing. And this is where conversational marketing and automated bots come into play, in my opinion. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to tie in this basically button on your website, a QR code on your trucks or your employee shirts or any of the swag you may be putting out at conferences or conventions, a slide in on your website. And in the bottom there, that little icon of the hand with the phone, either organic or paid Facebook posts. We can drive them through. So if they don't want to wait on an estimate, we can have a live automated estimate based on your pricing, tying in from the data from Zillow. So the first thing outside of that, though, once this happens, we have a way now to have these automated bots automatically funnel right into Service Autopilot or a few other automated CRM platforms. And then once that happens, I'm going to just show you how a fully automated business works. So first thing here is we should have an estimate request, no matter the software program or not, that they enter in that form. So if they do want to talk to a live person, we give them option or during the working hours. So this is in addition to the bot, that's the conversational marketing. But when they enter that in, it automatically enters them into the software, alerts somebody that an estimate needs to be done. And in addition to that, it segments them each individual bucket per service. So whether it's lawn mowing, fertilization, and weed control, snow plowing, this is going to allow us to have a automated but personal conversation around their specific interests. On the bottom, office entry. Obviously, if they're typing it in, we get the information in. So whether they came from the bot, automatically synced in, the website form, or the office entry form, we have them into the software system now, and we're going to drive out and automatically fire off an email with a thing called a lead letter. And these are going to be the 5 or 6 reasons why our business is different and why people want to do work with us and not our competitors. We're going to differentiate ourselves right out the gate and make sure we're different. Next thing here is before the estimate. We want to go out and educate them, or in conjunction with the estimate, if we're doing the estimate live over the phone, we want to educate them how to do that service as a professional themselves. The whole idea is to create that higher perceived value. Very similar to Marcus Sheridan's book, They Ask You Answer. These are the things we're tackling in there. So you are the expert, and it's allowing you to charge the highest price in your market. In addition, I really recommend going in and overcoming any sales or price objections. So in the lawn mowing example, do I need to be home to have the service done? If I have a fence gate, are you going to close it behind you so I don't have to worry about the kids and the dog running out of the backyard if I don't check when I get home from work? So we're shortening that sales cycle and creating a higher perceived value. Next thing is when we submit the estimate, this process is what we call 20 days to close. And basically what 20 days to close is an automated estimate file. So every time we submit an estimate that hasn't been won or lost through a series of automated text, automated emails, the automation goes out to close the estimate. In addition, we use phone calls. Phone calls come up as a task or a to-do in the platform and assigns it to a role or person and says, hey, call Mrs. Smith back. It's been 3 days since we dropped off her lawn mowing estimate. This is what to say. If she says the price is too high, this is some call script objection to the price, how to overcome it. And then the most important part is on the bottom. If she becomes a customer, do this in the software. If she doesn't become a customer, do this in the software. If she says, I'm not sure if I'm hiring you guys or not for my lawn care services, do this in the software. So we've created a predictable system for your office or a virtual assistant halfway around the world. So that is a predictable estimating system. They say 80% of all sales are closed on 5 or more touches. So if you're not following up at least 5 times, statistically, you're leaving 80% of the sales in your market to your competitors. So it may not be that your competitor is a lowballer just beating you up. It may be your competitor is following up through conversational marketing and automated follow-ups via different communications 5 or more times, and they're capturing 80% of the work in your market, or at least a portion of it. Next thing is if we win the estimate here, automatically, without having to do anything, we've created a system to welcome the client and create a PCI compliant credit card form in this email connected to it to capture a credit card if that's something you want. That's something we did at Callahan's. We required it. But anything else, it's just going to acclimate them what to expect when dealing with your company. And it sets the tone. The next thing we do is a 30, 60, and 90-day file for all recurring services. So if you're building your own automations, I highly, highly recommend setting logic in the automations so only the recurring services get the 30, 60, and 90. So if we've got a recurring weekly mowing, we're obviously going to go out and reach out, and traditionally the response back would be, hey, the guys and girls are doing a great job mowing the lawn, but occasionally they're forgetting to blow off the back patio. So we grab those little issues before they come into cancellation issues. And if it's a one-time service, we build the logic in there to only follow up once. So we're going to talk to them where they're at in the customer lifecycle. So it's automated, but very personal. Next thing we do, happy holidays, all your major US holidays. Sounds corny, but we educate them how to do, or educate them around the holiday and wish them a happy holiday. Where this came into play as you're building these automations is we realized we needed to be in their email inbox at a certain frequency with engagement for best email and click-through rates. This helps scratch that itch. So it's not only a nurture, but it's a systematic tool to help have better email engagement. We're finding anywhere from 53 to about 72% click-through rate on our emails for a lot of our clients, as well as at Callahan's there. So that was instrumental. Next thing we do is newsletters. This goes out to all your leads and clients in the whole entire system. And what we're recommending is doing is educating what they should be doing in their yard or home the month in advance. So if we're going into the winter and we're in the southern market or in the northern market, ornamental pruning or crepe myrtle pruning, we're going to educate them the proper pruning techniques and timing in a soft one-liner at the bottom. Hey, by the way, we're here to help. But we're educating and then reaffirming you as the expert in your market through education. So that's going to go out at the beginning of the month to everybody in your database. Lead and customer monthly promotion and tips goes out to your leads and clients separately. It gives you the ability to educate or give separate promotion to your leads and clients separately. And it gives you the ability to segment your database. So if you want to give a 10% off promotion to anybody who hadn't signed up for fertilization weed control, you're not alienating your customer base that's already signed up. So hopefully that makes sense up to this point. Now, obviously, if we haven't won the estimate, we've probably lost the estimate or they've canceled our services. Originally, we called these service automations where they segmented each service, such as lawn mowing, for lost estimates, canceled, and renewals. But what we found in the last 6 to 7 months, it was instrumental with all the people we've been working for and with, is that we created upsells. So they casted a wider net. So anybody in the database that didn't have lawn mowing or fertilization and weed control or aeration and overseeding, whatever that was, the automation went out through a series of nurturing content to get them to request an estimate. So if you were on, say, the Facebook group for Service Autopilot's member group and you saw people talking about getting 60, 70 estimates in 3 to 4 hours, this is the process we're doing. So like I said, we're not selling this right now. I'm literally just giving you the 3 executable steps of automating your business, taking your life back, and creating an investment piece that's worth good money at the end of the day when you're ready to sell or retire. So that is the first piece of the 3 keys to automating your business. And interesting enough, these 3 steps are the 3 main hurdles that you need to overcome to break that $1 million mark and beyond. And if you've already broke that mark, these could be some of the hurdles that are sucking you back in, that's basically having you plateau past that. So the next thing we're looking at is 2, employee systems, specifically a standardized employee system that can be delegatable. So once again, you're going to see this screen may look familiar to you, but it's a little bit different. So I just urge you to hang in here with me, because this is going to open some eyes, even if you've seen some of this stuff already. Next thing is on the left-hand side of the screen. We've got the same buttons for the website. We've got a button, we've got to slide in a QR code, and the ability to do paid and organic Facebook messages with this. So as transparent, where I think the market is going, and honestly, if you lift the hood, where Simple Growth is going, is we are potentially developing, as this shift happens, automations in conversational marketing to go out and recruit and attract employees as well. Because if people are buying habits are going into conversational marketing, they want to have conversations, whether they're automated or human. It doesn't matter. If they want that ability to be online and have that conversation and get into a potentially a work application process, our feeling is it's probably going to be pretty the same. So anybody watching, if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. I have some legalities around it, but to kind of lift the hood, maybe this is where we're going in the very short to near future as well. But in addition to that, we've got our hosted landing page that's going to go on your Craigslist, Indeed, or Facebook. Could you imagine, though, conversation automated bot coming off one of those and then driving into your customer relationship management software? So we've got our hosted landing page for our Craigslist, Indeed, or Facebook, and office entry form. In the early days, we started out this just as a basic English application. What we found out is we were alienating our Spanish workforce. So we created a textbook version of this. And obviously that didn't quite convert as well as we thought it would. So what we did then is basically hooked up with one of our friends in New Jersey in the cleaning industry, actually, and she helped us rewrite the application and the form to street Spanish. So now we have an English and street Spanish version to convert across English and Spanish speaking workforces. But if they fill it out online or in the office, it goes into the software such as Service Autopilot. We drive them to that English or street Spanish application here. Next thing is, let's say the individual's name is Joe that gets through this. So Joe gets through it. A to-do or task pops up in your software and says, hey, call Joe, set up the interview date and time. And someone in your office plugs it in, and the automation now is going to standardize the notification through Joe, the future prospect, via text or email. I'm recommending text if you're setting this up yourself, and it's going to notify them the week before and the day before, letting them know where to show up, when to show up, and what to bring. Expert tip that I recommend, something we did at Callahan's and a lot of the people we work with do, is they assign homework in here, such as going down to the DMV to get to a driver's abstract. So they've got some skin in the game. So by the time they get to that interview, we know they're committed. And if anybody's willing to spend a few hours at the DMV, if you've been there, they're definitely damn well committed. But now the interview here is happening. We have a standardized interviewing package. So if you follow Jonathan Potoshnik of the Lawn Care Millionaire, Jonathan is always talking about building that virtual bench. When Jonathan and I go on these regional events and teach these things in the Service Autopilot breakout groups, we're talking about building the virtual bench. And what we're doing is going out and constantly recruiting for all the positions in the business. And now a standardized interviewing package is going to elect 5 or 6 standardized questions you should ask every applicant. There may be more, but we want to create a non-bias to it. And the automation is going to prompt the interviewer to rank them A, B, and C with the interviewer's comments. And what we've done in Service Autopilot, or if you're doing it in a different CRM, is you create a database of qualified applicants that are ranked A, B, and C with comments. So when we have that huge rush in the spring, or we have a snow event and we have a no-call show employee, we need to stack that bench. We're no longer hiring the first person to the door with a pulse, or in my case, sometimes half a pulse. Obviously, that didn't work out well. So we needed to go out and recruit. So when we had that spike in sales, or Dave didn't show up and it was no call, no show for the first 3 days, we got to replace them. We're not scrambling. We've got a qualified database of people. So that's the idea there. Next thing is, once you hire them, we're dropping them into a 2 to 3 part introduction to company culture. This is going to be going over your mission, vision, values, that cultural piece. Sounds a little hokey pokey, but I'm telling you, it works. We could barely get 7 or 8 months out of the key employees in the seasonal business we had. After the summer, they would leave. and we could never get them back the following winter or the following summer and get them to work the winter. So what we did is we invested some money and built basically a culture, and we got that millennial worker to align with the culture. And once we automated the indoctrination of it, it was standardized. We were getting a good 3 to 5 years out of these key individuals. I'm not going to lie to you, it wasn't a lifetime, but it was a hell of a lot better than 7 to 8 months. That basically eliminated our churn, basically on our employees, and the quality and the retention went up. Next thing is we did an automated tax document collection. So tax documents and culture training went up to 3 attempts. After the 3rd and final attempt, if Joe didn't fill out his tax docs, a to-do or a task would show up in the software and say, hey, Joe didn't fill out the documents. Right here, I recommend firing Joe. So really the idea is before they get to the interview up here at front, we're screening them out and buying your time back. After we interview them, before we train them, we're onboarding, indoctrinating, and testing again to make sure they can follow simple directions with simple deadlines. We're creating a process that's predictable, that doesn't need the owner. Now, the next pivotal point here was employee training. So now every time we had a new hire in the office, I'd literally have to go in and spend a week or 2 or 3 weeks to train this individual how to use Service Autopilot, which is what we were using. So what we did is we created 36 videos and 6 modules complete with testing that took our admin running from lead acquisition all the way through billing and fulfillment. And within 7 to 10 days, we could get this individual in the office up and running as if they've been there for months or even a year, because it forced them to build foundational pieces on top of each other. Traditionally, when people go out and learn a software, they go immediately to the billing part or scheduling part, because that's what the pain point is there, and they've got to do it. And I understand that. But if we can create an automated system that we drive new applicants through and new hires and build foundational understanding, it will cut that learning curve down significantly. Now you have a turnkey solution that you can delegate and not be part of. The final step of that was every time we had a new hire in the field, myself and the manager would have to go out and manage that training process. So what we did is we took a smartphone, about a $50 tripod off Amazon, and a $100 wireless mic, and we made low production training videos of every service we did: weed whacking, stick edging, blowing, each type of mower. And then we ran all our new hires through an online automated training system. That basically created our own little franchise without franchise fees. So if you're ever looking to become an absentee owner or sell your business down the line, the value that can be put on that is unbelievable. So this is the ability to automate a process that is always usually manual in a business. Next thing we did is employee contract and handbook below that. This was the other thing that required me as the business owner to go in and manage every new employee. So instead of having to be there, we automated the process to make sure what should happen happens each and every time without the business owner having to basically be there and run the system. So hopefully this is all making sense. I know time is value, so it's not valuable. So I want to make sure I'm not going too fast, but I'm not boring you as well. But this is the exact process and steps that we took in the business to create a fully automated business. Next thing we're going is automation area number 3, task delegation systems, specifically a standardized system that delegates tasks without the business owner. And what we call this is repetitive tasks. So what we do is we take what's inside the business owner's head or the manager's head here, and we delegate and automate. And what happens? Maybe you get 20, 30 employees. The business owner starts to get sucked back in. And let's be honest, it's sometimes you feel like you're fighting fires and literally running an adult daycare. This is where this part of the automation happens. So now we've built a sales system. We need employees. Now we have employee training, recruiting, and onboarding system that's automated. And now that we've got all these people, chaos breaks out again. So we need to create a predictable system that tells people what to do every day, every week, every month, every quarter, and annually. And there's 7 core areas in a business that we've automated here. And what we do is leverage the power of the software to manage the repetitive workflow. And if it doesn't happen, we call someone physically in to address it and tackle it. So what we happen is we've automated sales, customer service, scheduling, billing, office manager, maintenance, and yes, owner. So if you're still filing your sales tax, your quarterly tax returns, anything that's revolving around the owner that's still responsible, in my opinion, we need to automate that accountability as well, because then when we go to become an absentee owner, we already have the rules and the
appropriate things that need to happen every day for that owner's replacement in place. And this is exactly what we did in my business. So a quick example here under sales on a daily basis. Let's say we had a daily sales person. Let's say his name was Dave. We're going to pick on Dave here. If Dave didn't do his job of finishing all his estimates and returning all his sales calls at the end of the day, say 5:15, 5:30 in the evening, what the automation is going to do is alert Dave via text or email, depending how you set it up, and say, Dave, unfortunately, you didn't do your job today. It's 5:30 and it needs to get done. Complete it. In addition, what the automation would do is it will alert the business manager owner based on how important it is via email or text. It would escalate it. But what it would say is like literally, Dave's task for the day was this. He's under the sales role and this is what should be done, but it hasn't happened. And it allows a human to be sucked back in and manage the process of that employee. So the whole idea is you can really get detailed with this. So a great example is I was at GIE, the Green Industry Expo, last year. Paul, who ran Callahan's, had one of these repetitive tasks to winterize the fertilizing spray tanks in the Northeast. If you're not from the Northeast, got some folks here from Florida and Houston as well. Those things don't freeze there, but in this up in New York, they freeze. So by a certain time, we need to run RV fluid through them and winterize them. So what the to-do had was a deadline, instructions, who it was, a shopping list of the materials needed, and the manufacturer's video. And if Paul didn't do that, by the time I got onto the plane at GIE to come home, I would have had a text message right on my phone saying, hey, you better get this taken care of or those tanks are going to freeze up, because that's important. So you can kind of see the power of this. So we're tackling our sales systems. That's the first hurdle of breaking $1 million. Then we've got employee systems. That's the next hurdle, building a team. And then the final hurdle is creating reproducible systems and procedures that do not revolve around the business owner and manager to continually make them happen. So as we're diving in, hopefully that was helpful. Now we're going to really get into the conversational marketing and that technology shift. But before we get into the nitty gritty of it, I really want to highlight on a high level, there are two types of businesses and service businesses that exist. There's the one that's in your head as the business owner. You're the key point of failure. That's what happened when that caused that divorce. If I wasn't there to tell people what was in my head, it never happened, or it was devastating. And you really don't want that Valentine's Day massacre, as I like to call it. Or there's a business on autopilot. So by no means am I here sitting on a pedestal, because I've made 99% of these mistakes or got lucky enough to make the 1%. But what I'm doing is being very honest and transparent. Is this is a scalable system to create what's in your head and put it on autopilot. So obviously in your head is in the business owner's head. You can't control the hours you work because the business is reliant on you each and every day to do those estimates, manage those employees, and potentially do the work. And there's nothing wrong with being in the field. I loved it once in a while. I still like to get back in there when I had the opportunity. But these are the things that if you're going to work on it, work in it, like Michael Gerber says, or you want that work-life balance, we need to take what's in your head and automate it. And when we put that business on automate, it's on autopilot. So basically to put it on autopilot, we want to standardize and create easy to delegate. These systems need to be predictable, trainable, scalable without estimating or working the everyday jobs in the business. So as we go in, the main thing we're looking at here is how do we use conversational marketing to automate some of these manual tasks and have a 24-hour salesperson. So what we do, and this is what we teach in service autopilot. So there is nothing wrong with this, and you need this piece. But as buying habits change, we need another tool in the toolbox, in my opinion. So as we're looking at the screen here, we've got a property measurement. So if we're live in the office workflow, I highly recommend if somebody calls, you pick up the phone, you pull up a service like Maps Pro and you measure it and you track the turf square footage or the driveway square footage or all those variables. And behind that, you should have a pricing matrix with your own pricing. But it's going to, on the right-hand side of the screen, create a price, a budgeted time, how long it should take, and a cost before profit. Those are the key variables. And we're going to track them and highlight them so we know exactly the areas we're serving and what we estimated on. So This is the first step in the process. So standardized production rates and sales systems are better because it doesn't require you as the business owner. We're on autopilot. Next, if you're doing this manually, which we're going to do if it's live in the office, these are the processes that happen. And I'm going to show you how we connect all these and automate this process through this conversational marketing and bot system. So basically, we're going to have to probably send out some information regarding the service, why we're the professional, what's included, what's not included. This is your short-term education. In the middle here, we have our standardized estimate, and it's going to calculate a price, budget, time, and cost. And if we don't close them over the phone, we need to email that estimate. And once we email it, we have a standardized estimate they can sign and accept online. This is the preferred workflow because for an office to delegate, because it doesn't revolve around you, but manual estimates are on your time and not when your potential lead is ready to buy. So if you're not open or you can't answer the phone quick enough in the spring season, this is where the buying equation in my mind changes. And this is where I'm about to talk about this revolutionary approach to lawn care software. So Facebook automated messenger bots built out for you in a done-for-you fashion. So it doesn't have to do anything with Service Autopilot, like I said. So if you're using Jobber, Real Green, any of those other softwares, we can work with that. But as an added bonus, if you are using Service Autopilot, we have a sync that takes them from Facebook Messenger, automatically enters them in the Service Autopilot with no double entry. And if you're using Simple Growth automations, we'll trigger some of those automations automatically. But what this does in this automated bot, in this new form of conversational marketing, is the pricing is based on your actual pricing that you give us in the back end. We integrate with Zillow and pull out the square footage of the lot, and it's based, so we multiply the square footage based on your price ranges. We also, if you're not using Facebook, to or a website slide in, a website widget, and a QR code for your trucks or any of your swag. We have updates and supports via email and Messenger, obviously in the Simple Growth office. And we handle the complete setup and management of your messenger bot for the services we've set up. And we have the optional sync with Service Autopilot. So as you're diving that in, I want to give you a quick example of what this can look like. So we've got the Bill Murray example that I showed you here in the opening video. I also have a snowplow example here that I'm going to show you really quickly as well. So what's happening here is this is kind of a little information ahead, how we're going to go out, and we can't capture the square footage off Zillow for a driveway. So I'm going to show you how we tackle this. So there's going to be some really interesting ways we're able to automate certain things such as mulching and other things as square footage of driveways. So now your consumer's hitting this and they're going in and saying, yep, I want an estimate. So I've got a few questions. Do you want it for this snow only on demand, or do you want the season pricing? So we can have two different options here. Bot's saying, okay, perfect. What's your zip code? Oh, okay. We're going to go in and check. Perfect. You're in our service area. So a lot of times with snow plowing is only condensed areas we service. And then we ask them for their service address. So we're capturing all the information. In addition, the bot is going to automatically be able to grab their email and phone number they've registered with Facebook on. So now it's going in and it looks like the thing is actually typing, but this is obviously all automated. So we've got this little house icon here, and we've used the visual representation of cars, which we found are about 200 square feet when you measure them online. So we're going to say how many cars wide is your driveway and how many cars long is your driveway, and be able to calculate a square footage off that. So you can see we've come up with some really creative ways to automate this process since we can't get the square footage of the driveway off of Zillow. So I'm typing in 2 cars wide and 4 cars long. Now it's doing some math in the back end. We built some logic. Perfect. Fictitiously, it's $500, but it's basing on 1,600 square feet. This would be based on your service pricing, obviously. We can actually take payment via PayPal and Stripe all inside Facebook Messenger. So if you're doing on-demand plowing, you can get payment live inside Messenger. And they can sign up. And if you want the Service Autopilot sync, it automatically takes that contact and syncs them back in. I know we've got a lot of people watching here, a little over 85 or 90 here by the looks of it fluctuating. Does anybody watching want to see the lawn care example again before I hop in and show you the special pricing? We're going to be able to save between $250 and $300 just for watching this webinar. So I'll throw this on here just to be safe if anybody hasn't seen it yet, if they came in a little bit late, and then I'm going to show you where this can be put in. So right now we've got our just a little demo going on and talking about what it does, but it's going to capture the square footage of Zillow and based on your prices. We've got lawn mowing, mulching, irrigation, yard cleanup, spring and fall, fertilization, weed control, lawn rolling, dethatching, pest control, mosquito control, just to name a few that we've automated in this bot. So if this is something you're interested in when I make the offer in a little bit, and I'll warn you before we do it, we've got a great deal for you, but you'd select some services that we built. So now the consumer's typing in their address, and it has to be in Zillow. If they put in a fictitious address, it will alert them that we need a real address. Now they're putting in their zip code. Now this is actually going out to Zillow. It looks like someone's typing, but this thing's actually calling Zillow and grabbing the lot square footage. And it's going to calculate it based on your pricing that you give us inside the bot. So it's going to be basically an automated estimator 24/7 for you. So based on that pricing bot, we've charged $72 based on the 1,200 square feet. Now this is obviously fictitious pricing, be based on your pricing that you give us. Customer goes in, clicks get started. It grabs their cell phone number. They can override it if that's not a good phone number, and it grabs their email. Once that happens, the bot now is going to automatically text message and email that client, all from Facebook Messenger, and create that conversation. If you don't use the QuickBook or if you don't use the sync with Service Autopilot, if you're using Jobber, Single Ops, Real Green, that's okay, because we'll notify you as the business owner to jump in as a person, but it will notify you either way. But you would have to take that information, put it in your software. We've got a couple questions here. I'm going to hold off the end. Adam's got a good one. I'll answer those all right at the end as a live Q&A. So hold right in there, Adam. Great question. And Rob's got another good one here. So I'll go through all those questions in about a minute. So now the next thing we got here is just to reaffirm, the biggest concern right now is if I'm not using Facebook to its fullest, will it work? Yes, it will, as long as you're driving traffic to your website. We have buttons, slide-ins, and QR codes we give you, and in the bottom, a little logo they can use organic or paid Facebook message to drive that. So services that can be tackled really quick is lawn mowing, fertilization and weed control, aeration and overseeding, mosquito control, lawn dethatching, pest control, spring and fall cleanup, mulch installation, snow plowing, and several more. And I'll basically dive in there into the questions that are coming in. So keep them coming, because I will answer those systematically for you. So last chance, I am going to make this offer. So if you don't want to see the special offer, hop off the screen share right now. I don't like to be a sleazy salesman, and I don't think this is sleazy, but I do want to make sure that you know I'm about to make an offer and show you how you can save $250 to $350. So what we've got here is you can automate up to 3 services on our pricing bots. We normally charge $9.99 to set it up. The special offer, because you're spending time with me out of your day, is we are discounting that by $250. So webinar only special, you can sign up for one-time fee. And in about a second, let me know. There should be a clickable button to sign up on the bottom of the screen. So let me know if that's on there, if you could, in the chat. But pricing, up to 3 automated pricing bots, we're slashing the setup fee by $250. And there's a monthly support and update fee that includes your Zillow integration for $99 a month. Between 4 and 10 automated bots here in the middle of the screen. Once again, we're slashing that price and saving you $250 on the setup fee on this webinar only. And if someone can type in, awesome, sign up button is present. So make sure if you're going to do it, click on it. This will only be available tomorrow morning. This pricing will be gone. So 4 to 5 automated bots, we're slashing it by $250, and it's $199 a month support and update fees. Also includes your Zillow integration. If you want the Service Autopilot sync and you're using Service Autopilot, we normally charge $99 a month to set that, or $99 one time to set that up. We're slashing the setup fee, so we're saving an extra $99, but there is an additional $29.97 for the sync to push all the contracts from Service Autopilot right into service autopilot. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to tackle some of the questions that are coming in as they came in. So Rob Hamilton, why do you need multiple bots? Is that because multiple people are asking for pricing? No, it's not multiple bots. It's multiple bots that handle each service. So your pricing structure is going to be different for mosquito control than it is lawn care or aeration and overseeing. So there's a bot for each one of the services. How do we know how many bots you will need? Well, it depends on how many services that you want to automate. Some people only want to do only their core 3 services automated. Some people may want to offer up to 10. So we've given the option with very reasonable pricing to do it. Mike, can we ask questions like if they have a gate and how wide it is? Absolutely. So if there's a non-conditional response in there and it hops in, it alerts a human in your office or via mobile to actually hop in and have a live conversation. So we're not replacing humans. We're having a conversation and warming them up for them to be a hot qualified lead. So absolutely, we can hop in live and do that as well. Do you have a disclaimer about real life conditions? Chris, absolutely. This is a approximate price depending on the confidence of it. But the idea is to get them off the street. And when they click buy, a millennial shopper is going to go in and want to buy and just check that off the checkbox. So if they've grossly under or overestimated the property based on Zillow, we can go in and adjust it. We're not bound to this, but we've stopped them from shopping. But 99% of the time at Callahan's, when we did this, it was extremely accurate. But there was the off chance that Zillow wasn't representative because maybe it was a wooded lot and only half the lot was being able to be serviced. But it's going to get that contact in there and create that sales communication. So Rob, what would you do if half the lot is unusable? In addition, we have the ability for a drop down if you want to let your customer basically select a base square footage, so maybe 1 to 5,000 square feet, and every 1,000 square feet after in a drop down menu, we can manually have them do that as well with a disclaimer. So some markets have very, very heavy tree coverage, or Zillow just doesn't exist in your market to the full extent. A lot of people in Canada don't have Zillow, but we have people in Canada using this with a drop-down menu with a disclaimer. But the idea is to have the conversation and try to get that sale closed or as close to closed when the person wants to buy. Adam, how does it factor in patio, pools, lot square footage? It's based on the gross lot square footage. But what we recommend is when you build your pricing matrix that you upload into Facebook Messenger for us, that you basically measure that square footage of the the home and the driveway, and use an average and add that or subtract that from your matrix. So it accounts for that gross lot square footage. But a couple hundred square feet, if you're doing it every 1,000 square feet, it's going to come out in the wash. But the idea is to close as many sales when the consumer is looking to buy and when they want to work and do the sale, and not when it's convenient for you. Because when it's convenient for you, if they hit your website, they can't get the answers they want, they can't buy then, or at least get pretty close to it, they're going to go to the next website that has it. So I'm betting on the shift that we want to get as many sales as we can and be the place they go and stop. So I'm scrolling down here. Doesn't look like there's too many. Oh, hold on, I take that back. Josh, might be already addressed this. I assume the mowing bot and most others are purely based on square foot matrices. Are there any way conditions for grade, hill, linear? So Josh, the bot itself, the technology is not there yet to do anything based on linear foot or hills or things like that. That's a disclaimer that you're going to want to put in there for sure. And it may just be, this is an automated price that will be confirmed by a human within the next business day. But the idea is if somebody goes in and commits to that, they've made the emotional decision that they've bought. You've pulled them off the market. In their mind, they have bought. Now, who knows? Maybe it measured the whole gross lot square footage and only half of that is mowable. In the mowing example, you could actually come back and say, hey, I want to be honest with you. Your price is actually less. So we can save you some money. Or on the flip side, you could just charge them what it is and have a greedy customer. But it's going to give you that granularity to be the choice where it gives them the problem. So Rob, what do you think about competitors seeing your prices? So amazing question. So I was just out in Philadelphia, or actually no, Pittsburgh this year, talking about people knowing your prices. So, Rob, I'm not going to pick on you, and anybody here obviously respond as well. How many of you know your competitors' prices, ballpark? Idea. I'm going to assume everybody on here pretty much knows what their competitors are charging. So why are we worried about our competitors that are taking money out of our pockets? Because they already know our pricing. What we need to be worried about is our future consumers that are searching for an instant price in communication. So don't worry about your competitors. They already probably know your pricing. You probably know their pricing. Where we need to concentrate is have a mind shift different than our competitors and go out and actually be the go-to person that takes them off the market and is there 24/7. Anthony's got a question. Anthony, if I understand correctly, we can use this for employee onboarding as well. If so, are one of these bots used for this or a separate option? So Anthony, that is going to be something in the future we're currently working on, but it's not available. But full transparency, I want to show you where I think it's going. And when we're ready, I'll put you on the list and I'll let you know. But that is definitely where it's going to be going. Right now, we're just selling these sales bots. And they've been out and we've been using them for years, but now the industry is starting to adopt them. These are early adopters. So if you want to be an early adopter, this is where it should be, in my opinion. Carl, how long is this offer available? I'd like to sign up in March. Carl, the service is going to be here. Unfortunately, the $250 off the setup fee and the $100 setup waiving of the service autopilot sync is only here till tomorrow, basically at the end of the night, midnight. Tomorrow morning, it will not be there. Robert, I have 4 branches. Does this need each branch need to have its own bot? They will have their own Facebook page, and we have corporate. Yes, actually, Robert, we've built these for several franchises. I can't mention their names, but yes, if there's separate Facebook pages, you would want a separate bot because I'm assuming your pricing structure may be a little bit different in each market, or you could drive the main bot off the main corporate site. But if you have separate pages, you would need separate bots because the automation of the bot is built in the back end of each Facebook Messenger page through that plugin of ManyChat. So if you're looking at this too, full disclosure, there will be an additional $10 fee a month for the ManyChat plugin that's paid directly to ManyChat that we're partners with, and we built it all on there, and you own it, and it's in there. But it will pay for itself tenfold. That shouldn't be an issue. Is it possible the Deluxe David wants to, is it possible to upgrade to Deluxe later? Yes, absolutely. So you can start with Basic. And the only thing that if you buy now, there is no additional setup fee. We just build out the additional 4 to 10 bots for you. And the monthly fee would just go up. But yes, by adopting now, you're going to save some money. You can upgrade later. Any way we can adopt for swimming pool service? Jeff, yes. I don't have time in this webinar to go through it, but drop me a private message tomorrow and I can talk to you how we do that. Absolutely. How do you measure mulch and bush trimming? Bush trimming is something we don't do in the bot yet. Actually, we've kind of figured out how to do it based on small, medium, and large shrubs and hedgerows with linear foot. Mulch is based on bed square footage they give us or the amount of bags that they've used in the past, and we base that on 3-inch depth. Obviously, up to you confirming and that price is not solid or it only covers the area that actually you priced out. Great questions. Make sure you hit the bottom below if you want to sign up before midnight tonight for this discounted price. Adam, can you explain the service autopilot sync? Yes, it connects to ManyChat or Facebook Messenger and automatically pushes them into service autopilot, no double entry, and starts our automated process if you use our automations. Anybody, there's still a lot of people on here asking questions. Can you just confirm sometimes at the hour mark, Webinar Jam does shut off. So can you guys still hear and see me? Jeff, yes, we will be sending a replay of this. If this is something you want for the discount, it's only till midnight. Stephen wants to know, can you create a percent of lot size to be turf size? Lot size is 1,500 square feet. We factor 45% as turf. Yes, Stephen, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So you create what's perfect for your market, and that's how you base your pricing. So we're pulling gross lot square footage, and you tell us based on gross lot square footage what this would be. If we are already a Simple Growth customer, is the SA sync still applicable? Absolutely. So this sync is applicable only to Facebook Messenger and driving those through with no double entry. Kelly, I'm an existing automations client. Is this my pricing too? Kelly, yes, this would be your discounted pricing, and we appreciate your business. So the only people, or at least the majority of people that are on here, are simple growth clients with one of our products. So that's how they got on the email list to actually join this. So this is our special pricing for our simple growth family. So I appreciate everybody on here is a client, and we're trying to offer you this special pricing before we literally open this up to the general public. And this will get you ahead of the installation pipeline as well. Rye, just purchased service Autopilot, still have to figure out how to set up the price matrix. Is this something you can help with? Ryan, absolutely. Check out Simple Growth Systems with an S.com and just book a consult with myself. We'll walk through and show you how we do it. But yeah, we can do a fully set up service Autopilot from the ground up, 2 days in person, right down to hourly consulting via screen share, and build it up. And we give you our pricing blueprint that we build it on. So we don't just give you the fish, we teach how to fish. So you're self-sufficient each and every time. Kelly, thanks. Yes, this is awesome. I'm really excited just to get this to the Simple Growth client base before we open this up. Kelly, if you're still watching, can you still hear me? I know occasionally right at that minute mark, this thing shuts down and I'm talking to myself for an hour. And like I said, we're going to keep this open here for a bit. We've still got almost 70 people on this webinar. So I want to leave the pricing down at the bottom and allow you to hit this link, as well as the ability to ask any questions you may have. But great questions here. Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. So just as I'm seeing some of these other questions pop up, I'll let them pop up. So trying to read these questions is tough to read as they're going down. Is there any way to integrate this automation into the website as well? Matt, yes. We're going to give you the website slide in. We're going to give you a button for your website, and we're going to give you a QR code for your swag and your trucks or your website. So yes, there's 3 different ways you can integrate with your website that's included in the pricing here. Stephen, could you see adding this to a website? Yes, I just answered that question, but great question. Once again, we're giving you 3 separate ways to integrate this into your website. And with the ManyChat platform, you can also use that as a live, basically bot as customer service if you want to evolve into that product at no extra cost. That totally is an option there as well. Little side note is we were growing this at Callahan's. I had one of my competitors, a local bar, came up to me and introduced himself to me and said, hey, are you Mike? I said, yeah, I am. And basically, he was pissed. And he's like, you've been taking these customers out of these neighborhoods we're in, and you're threatening our business. And he was convinced the only way that we could go out and actually take 10 to 15 of his clients every other week out of these neighborhoods was by following his truck and knocking on the doors. But in essence, our automations through dropping 9 rounds and having conversational marketing, because people saw our trucks and our website with the forms, the combination of all these things literally allowed us to go out and dominate these markets. And the guy ended up punching me in the face. And instead of defending myself, I actually was so shocked that I actually asked the guy, wait a minute, you really think we're following your trucks and knocking on doors behind you? No. But your competitors are probably thinking the same way. So if you're looking to get the competitive advantage on top of your competitors, this is the next shift. And if you want to be on the bleeding edge of where it's going, in my opinion, just like we were with automation 6 or 7 years ago, automations in the service industry are still early adopters, believe it or not. But we've been doing this for 6 or 7 years. This is the next shift. Be in front of the consumer buying habits. Kelly, I use a Wix website. Can I replace my estimate form with this? Absolutely. I don't think I would necessarily replace my estimate form. I would add the option for the form for that choose your own adventure or the live estimating. But if you're in the field still, depending whether it's lawn care, home cleaning, pest control, whatever that is, yes, indeed, you totally could replace that, and you're still going to have them entered in the service Autopilot, no double entry. So that's the beautiful part of this. Stephen, is the pricing for Facebook and through the website if a potential lead goes through? This pricing is for Facebook and through the website if the potential lead goes through the website instead of Facebook. Yeah, absolutely. So I guess you're going to create your your process for pricing based on gross lot square footage or turf square footage or gross lot square footage in your office. So that's going to be a combination of what you decide. But yes, you can price live off the bot or through your website, however you want. It's going to give you that ability. Deb says, what about help with ads? Right now, we're not looking to be a Facebook ad agency. Full transparency, we have a few people in beta with that. And depending how that goes, we'll keep you in the loop. But right now, we're not managing Facebook ads or Facebook. We're concentrating on our core services. But who knows? We like to give things away. So maybe we'll give you some templates of what actually worked with the beta as well. Ray, just logged in a little bit lost. So I may have a pricing bot with 27 or $29.97 a month plan. Ray, no. So on the screen that was up, and I don't know if you can see it or not, and we'll get you a replay as well. You can do up to 3 automated pricing bots. So up to 3 services automated with the $250 discount on the setup fee. It's $749 setup fee one time and $99 a month. So it's up to 3 services automated with pricing. If you want to do between 4 and 10, we still save you $250. It's a one-time setup fee of $749 and $199 a month support and updates. The service Autopilot Sync is $29.97, and we save you $100 on the setup fee there. So if you went all in, you could literally save $350 today before the end of the day at midnight. So the $29.97 is just for the Facebook to service Autopilot Sync of contacts. Can this bot be used on the website and Facebook? Yes, it can be used on the website and Facebook or anywhere else you can actually embed iframe. So that is totally doable. Ray, great question. Thank you. TJ Malone, I don't use Facebook for my company, so I guess this does not work for me. Actually, TJ, it does. If you have a website and you're looking to automatically convert people with an automated sales process, long as your company is willing to use Facebook Messenger, you can have these automated conversations. And that is where the lion's share of these conversations are happening. I don't have the stats in front of me, but they are staggering. The amount of business to consumer transactions that are happening. I can tell you when we tested this bot out and did some more demos, my phone literally vibrated off my nightstand. Between 10 and 2 a.m., my phone was on fire when I forgot to turn off the automatic notification. People are shopping when you're not open. And if you're not there to have that conversation, they're going to your competitor that is going to adopt to this. So TJ, I'd highly recommend using Facebook, but if you're not going to use the Facebook Messenger platform with the automated bot, embed it on your website, and this will allow you to still take advantage of that technology shift. How does this compare to LawnBot, lawnbot.biz? Excellent service, and Kendall's a great guy. I was just actually talking to him last weekend, actually. So we're both playing very nice in the same sandbox. I'm not going to discredit anything that he's done. Right now, his platform does not integrate with Facebook Messenger. And where conversations are happening is in Messenger or things like WhatsApp, WeChat in China. That's where the shift is happening. So that's where I'm placing and hedging my bet. And that's what we did for the last 3 or 4 years with Callahan. So LawnBet is just static on a website. It doesn't have conversational marketing through an app such as Messenger. So it can be on their phone. They can pick it up. They can walk with it, and they can have the conversation at the leisure when they want to. Far as pricing, we are a small fraction of what the other competitors are right now. This pricing will go up, but this is special pricing we're doing here only for Simple Growth clients or people who have interacted with Simple Growth. But Robert, good question. Rob, if we put it on Facebook and our website, is it the same price? Yes, it's identical. Whatever pricing you give us as you load it into the bot, it will be that pricing the same off the website and Facebook Messenger. The cool thing is, if you change your pricing, the process of updating it is actually we fire off a message to you personally from your company, and you can actually plug in and update the data live, secure, right in Facebook. Patrick, signing in late, and we'll watch the replay. How accurate are you finding Zillow measurements similar to actually across regions? Patrick, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. It varies across the U.S. It's not in Canada, to my understanding. If you're not comfortable with the Zillow integration, it's a drop-down menu that we can have based on every 1,000 square feet if you want your customer to charge. In my market and pretty much all the markets we've had with the beta testers, with except one, it's been extremely accurate, literally down to a couple hundred square feet. But if you're not comfortable with that and you have huge lots and a lot of it's wooded, I would allow the customer to select the drop-down menu, get them off the market, and have a little disclaimer there that says, hey, this is the best, most accurate automated price, but somebody will reach out the next business day to confirm the pricing. We want to give you the best price and insinuate the price could even be lower. But the idea is we've got to get them off the street. We want to be that expert. And if they're checking that box to buy it, you've got them off. They've stopped shopping. You've got them. As long as you're in the ballpark, you're good. And that's what we've seen. Stephen, how does payment process work? Does it take payment and credit card after they sign up? Yes, there is the option natively now with the product we're using inside Messenger where you can natively take PayPal or Stripe. If you're using Service Autopilot with the sync, I'd recommend just taking them and syncing them into Service Autopilot and handling all your transactions there, with the exception of snow plowing. If you're doing on-demand plowing, you want to get paid before you do that, and you want to automate that process. But if you have Stripe or I believe it's PayPal, we can automate the process of credit card processing live inside Messenger's platform, which is pretty sick in my opinion. Stephen, how long does it take to build out the bot? I would say a week or two. Usually our normal implementation is about 9 to 10 days, fully set up and going. So it's pretty much a streamlined process. Now, obviously, we fluctuated well over 100 at some points of this webinar, and some people haven't made it yet. So that being said, it may be a little bit longer for the late adopters with us. But right now, conservatively, you're probably about 2 weeks fully set up and going. And it's just going to rely on you pumping the data in there, but it may even be quicker. But I'd like to be conservative and not overcommit on it as well. Matt. So Matt says, just to back up Mike, we had an instant quote we custom built. Your pricing matrix is key, but we found it's not that bad to make pricing happen. Mike is 100% right on getting the sale. That's the biggest problem, not the pricing matrix. The bot looks like a great way to do it. Trying not to clog the chat. Matt, no worries, man. Thanks for the love. And yes, this is a shift. And I'll be honest with you, if you're watching this and you're one of the 55 or 60 people still hanging out here and you haven't clicked the button to buy, that's okay, because this isn't for everyone. And it's not right for everyone. But if you are willing to get out of your comfort zone and be different than everybody else in your market, you're going to see significantly different results, just like the automations that I showed you as the 3 keys of kind of scaling your business. Chris says, I haven't used Simple Growth for automations, though, for SA yet. Do you think this provides a better value, or Simple Growth systems, or both? Just want to get the best bang for my buck. So Chris, what we can do here is we're really not talking about our automations, but those 3 slides I showed you, the sales, employee, and repetitive tasks, those are actually the done-for-you model that we have in Simple Growth. So we actually build that out complete with about 130 to 140 marketing documents, complete with vanilla content that you can customize. And we have 3 different versions of our automations on those slides, the 3 keys automating in Service Autopilot for the North, the South, and Southwest. And then we customize it down to your service. It's a done-for-you model. We manage it. If you want to hop on a quick screen share, I can show you what that entails. But Service Autopilot's great. For $1,000, they'll give you 2, maybe 3 generic automations, and it's a done-for-you model, or a DIY model. I'm sorry. So if you go through the Service Autopilot process, they're going to charge you $1,000. It's kind of like going down to Home Depot or Lowe's and buying supplies and watching YouTube help videos. If you work with Simple Growth on automations and you don't have Pro Plus, we can get the $1,000 setup fee for Service Autopilot Automations Pro Plus waived if we build them, because we do all the work and Service Autopilot doesn't have to set them up or support them. So not really the purpose of this webinar, but I'm happy to show you that if you don't have automations in Service Autopilot, definitely give us a call, hop on a call. I can show you how I can save you $1,000 right out the gate and never have to worry about using the automations. But it is a huge big bang for your buck. Those 4 screens are fully automated systems that we use, and that was basically my evolution to go from 100 hours a week down to an absentee owner. Rob Hamilton, average closing ratio for bots. I'll be honest with you, I don't have hard data across the whole entire industry, so I'm not going to lie to you, I don't. What we found is the average closing ratio that most people, before they automated it, including my company, was around 35 or 40%. We're seeing most of our clients with the automations and the follow-up, and I don't think bots are going to be any different, because at Callahan's with the lawn care and the snow plowing bots, they were closing right around 68% to 70%. And that was no difference of pricing. Chris, I'll get hold of you. Perfect, Chris. Look forward to chatting, buddy, for sure. Like I said, we've got almost 50 people still on here, so I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes. If you're still thinking about buying these early bird pricing, like I said, after tonight, pricing is going to go up. And, you know, either you can save the $250 or $350 if you go with the sync, and you can always evolve in from the basic to the deluxe there. And hopefully that little bar is still on the bottom of the screen where you can click and sign up. So if you can't see the sign up link, let me know here in the chats, or drop us a message at our Facebook page at Simple Growth. And what I will do is respond to you tonight before midnight after I get the kids to bed. But I'm going to be heading home here in a few minutes to spend some family time. But thought it was really important to expose this great deal and this new shift to our really loyal Simple Growth followers. Stephen, do you know? I missed the answer. Do you know the average close rate for the bots? Stephen, yeah, I don't have a hard number on the bots, to be transparent. On average, through the bots and our normal sales process, it's automated, we're closing around 68 to 70%. As you see the average with Simple Growth clients and the clients in the beta for the bots as well. Rachel, thank you. Will you show the replay for the rest of the office staff? Yeah, so everybody on here is going to get a replay of the live version sometime tomorrow through an automated email. If you don't get it, let me know. We'll get you the links. Can you post a list of the services the bot does? Yeah, absolutely, Rob. They are going to be, and you can't see my screen here, but I'll flip it over so I can read them off. Services that we have automated right now are lawn mowing, fertilization and weed control, aeration and overseeding, mosquito control, lawn dethatching, pest control, spring and fall cleanup based on light and heavy coverage, mulch installation, snow plowing, and there's a few more that I don't have on there, but those are the core ones that our beta testers have tried and love. Perfect. So like I said, I'm going to be wrapping this up here in a few minutes, but just happy to answer any of the questions for our Simple Growth customers that are on the call today, and give them this special pricing before the general public is paying it forward for the time you've spent here on the webinar, as well as just working with us as well for just kind of a friendly thank you, being an early adopter to this technology. So like I said, I'm going to give it another 2-3 minutes. If I don't have any questions, I'm going to head home and spend some time with the kiddos and grab some dinner. No problem, Stephen. All right, last call for questions, and I'm going to be wrapping it up here. Look forward to hopefully seeing you in our onboarding queue next morning and saving that $250 to $350 in the setup fee. So like I said, you got to 12:01 tonight, midnight, to capitalize on this. Otherwise, we're opening this up to the general public with the standardized pricing here. So whether you're saving $250 for the setup fee or another $100 basically for the sync, one hell of a deal here for our Simple Growth clients as a thank you. So Mark wants to know, what's the cost going to be next week? The setup fee for the bot, whether it's the basic or deluxe, is $9.99 setup fee one time, and $99 a month, or $199. Right now with the special pricing that we have, we're slashing $250 off the initial setup fee. So it'll be an additional $250 setup fee starting tomorrow, and the Service Autopilot Contact Sync will be an additional $99 to get that set up after today as well. So not trying to push into a sale, but we do actually have some limited capacity here, and we don't want to overbook. So by the time we open this up to the general public, it probably will take a lot longer than anticipated, 10 days to set this up. But we want to take care of our clients and people that have engaged with us first before we actually let this out to the general public. So like I said, another minute or two here, I'm going to be wrapping this up. And Jeff, can driveway sealing be a bot? Funny you mentioned that. Yes, absolutely. Let me know on that. And that's going to be the same methodology of the plowing. Yep. So driveway sealing, absolutely, Jeff, that can be doable. Looking forward to that. Judy, what's going on? How are you doing? Judy, just want to give a shout out to Judy here and her son Cameron, just absolutely crushing it in their markets. Judy, I missed most of it. Will I be able to see the replay before price changes? Judy, I'm not too sure, to be honest, about the replay and the timing. But if you want to click on and accept the deal now, obviously you've been a great client with us as well. If you want to sign up for the discounted amount, and if it's something that's not a good fit, I'd be happy to refund the money as well. But I want to be upfront and honest and be fair to everybody on the call that we are going to shut it down at midnight. So hopefully that answers your question. If you think this is something you want and you want to commit to it, totally fine. If it's not a good fit in the morning, we can give you a refund as well. All right. Any other questions here before I wrap it up? All right. Going once, going twice, 3 times. All right. Oh, last question. Can they submit pictures through the bot as well? Absolutely. So it's based in Facebook Messenger. So that's the beauty of it. It starts the communication automated, but you can hop in and have a live communication as a live person. So we're just warming them up. But absolutely, everything that can be done through Facebook Messenger, such as pictures and videos, can also be done through the bot. Ray, yes, actually, you must have interacted with us at some point. So if you are on the webinar, we will give you the special prices. So up to 12:01 tonight, Ray, if you want, you got on the webinar, you spent some time with us, it's only right to give you that discount. So feel free, Ray, and we'll take care of you there as well. All right, last chance going out in 3, 2, 1. All right, perfect. Everybody have a great evening. I'm going to go have some dinner with the kiddos. And if you have any other issues or concerns, hit us up at Simple Growth's Facebook page, and we'll try to get back to you by the end of the day. Rob, can you post the services again so I can save a screen pic? Rob, can you see the screen right now? I believe it's gone blank. Rob, real quick, and this is the last question here, just so you can write them down. If you got a pen, Rob, they are lawn mowing, fertilization and weed control, aeration and overseeding, mosquito control, lawn dethatching, pest control, spring and fall cleanup, mulch installation, snow plowing are the main ones. Awesome. Thanks, Rob. All right, I'll leave it up, take a screenshot, and I am out of here. I'm late for dinner, but hopefully that was good for everybody, and I'm looking forward to see who has been the early adopter and is ready to take care of this technology shift. Jennifer, pest control, aeration, mowing. Yes, absolutely. All 3 of those. Spring and fall cleanup. Yep, that's 2 additional services, but yes, and snow plowing. And dethatch. And I got a feeling Jennifer might be one of our bot experts from the Simple Growth team, just coming in here and helping out. So what's up, Jennifer? So yeah, just a huge milestone here at Simple Growth too. We've actually graduated to 10 team members with specialization. So we've got one hell of a team here. It's not just me behind a curtain. We've got an all-star team that knows and lives and works in the same trenches of everybody else. So Jennifer, appreciate it. Tell Deb I said what's up, and we're wrapping it up. So we'll see you in the morning, hopefully with our onboarding automated bots in the next few days in your system. So the 3/4, if not all of this, is automated through a bot that drives you through. And as always, Simple Growth's here to help you as well. So we'll see you. Everybody have a great night.